further to the VAMP 57, F stands for the feeder. So that the F stands for feeder. 2 DI and 5 digital outputs. So further to the next digit, that includes phase and phase currents and the voltage inputs, that is the X1 terminal. So by digit 3 it defines to have 1 ampere and 5 ampere CT inputs and 1 voltage input. So if you will see here, you can see the difference in the type of terminals. Here are the screw type lugs arrangements is there. Here in side view, it is having a ring type lug arrangement. So that is selectable based on the relay ordering code. So if we are selecting digit 4, it includes X1 and X5 ring lugs. So if you want to make the ring type lugs connection, you have to select this digit 4, and for the pin type you have to select the digit 3. Next, for the range of earth fault current input. So alphabet A defines 1 ampere or 5 ampere, and alphabet D defines zero point 0.2 ampere or 1 ampere. So if you are having a city ratio possibly 50 by 5, so in that case you have to select alphabet A. But if you are having any interposing city, or or the city which is having secondary output of 1 ampere, in that case you have to select the B alphabet. Coming to the nominal supply voltage, alphabet A defines power supply from 24 to 230 watt AC and DC, so that is the wide range. And alphabet B defines power of 24 volt fixed. It is again, it is having a variable range of 18 to 38 volt DC. But in this case of alphabet B, you cannot operate this relay with the AC supply. So that is the difference based on the control voltage input available in the panel. Next, DI nominal voltage. So whichever the digital inputs we are giving to the relay, it is having some specific range. So that range is selectable for 20 from 24 volt AC/DC or 110 volt AC/DC, 220 volt AC/DC, 24 volt AC/DC for DI 1 2, and 110 volt DC AC for 3 DI 3 to 16. So that is the variable range we can use for the means we can use based on the control supply available in the panel. Voltage measurements plus IO. So here A denotes that there is no voltage measurements, and for B it denotes it is having 3 coil of voltage with the range of 100 to 110 volt AC plus 6 DI plus 3 DO. So when we are selecting alphabet B, that block will be having 3 coil of voltage plus 6 digital input and 3 digital outputs. Next, coming to the communication module, IO with the communication. So alphabet B, C, D, E, F, that defines different type of communications. In B, it defines RS485 with 8 DI. So if we are selecting B, it will be having RS485 port plus the same block will be having 8 number of DI. Similarly for C, it will be having 2 number of RJ45 port plus 8 number of DI. So here in this case, you can see it is having 2 number of RJ45 port plus 8 number of DI. So that is the C type model. Okay, kind of. So based on the communication protocol and number of input and output required, we can select the relay. So means simply by giving the complete relay model number, you can order the relay and you can get the relay with the say identical configurations. Now moving to the
So here, one thing I would like to
yes,
ask one question, sir. Coming
please.
to the previous slide, in the BI nominal voltage, suppose a BI nominal voltage for
Hmm,
here, the command which we received from DCS, that
hmm,
is 24 volt command.
okay,
They are getting energized with the 24 volt voltage.
okay.
So like BI 1 and 2. Okay.
Hmm, hmm,
So what about means they can be also be energized means the voltage level is from 24 volt to 230 volt, or from
No,
they are designed
no.
for only 24 volt?
If we talk about this first option, it is having range of 24 watt AC or DC. So operating range of this particular model will be 18 to 36 volts, but not more than 36 volts. If we are giving more than 36 volts, like other than 24 volt source, if we are giving 48 volt or more than 48 volt, this input will be failed.
And what about if the it is 4?
In case of 4, it is having option for the 24 watt AC DC for DI 1 and 2. So DI 1 and 2 will be having range of 24 watt AC or DC. Other than DI 1 and 2, which is DI 3 to 16, that will be having range of 110 volt. So at
Means
that time,
BI 1 and 2 is always designed for 24 volt. You mean
not
to say this?
always, not always, but for this specific model, for this model, which we say a 4 number, no? If you are
Okay.
selecting this, means DI 1 and 2 are by default designed for 24 volt. You cannot give 110 volt. Is it clear?
Yeah, it's clear. I will just come back to you after seeing the
Sure.
once the this my
Fine,
MLFB
fine.
or number.
Sure, sure.
Sir,
Okay.
in this DI3 and DI6, we can use for 24 volt.
No.
And
If you want to use rest of the inputs for 24 watt, you have to select this option first.
okay,
So this first option denotes that all the inputs are having range of 24 watt DC. So operating range will be 18 to 36 volts.
okay, sir.
So for example, why this option is given, like a digital input 1 and 2 will be having inbuilt feature of 24 watt DC. So just in case if auxiliary supply fails, so in that case this will be giving the internal 24 watt DC, so that inputs you can use for the trip circuit supervision, which is very crucial for the protection circuit. So in that case, if your auxiliary supply fails, because means if any of input fails, in that case this inputs will remain high because it is having inbuilt 24 watt DC source. But in general, you must be using option 2 or 3, because maximum panel schemes are having auxiliary supply of 110 or 220 volt, be it AC or DC. Okay. So next we'll see the connections diagram. So here in one example of relay in connection diagrams, we can see this one is the X2 terminal, which is having auxiliary supply, be it AC or DC, based on the selected model. X1, X2, 1 and 2 terminal are for the auxiliary supply. Just below, we can see the block X1. It is having cities input, which is having terminal of X1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for R, Y, B, R, Y and B phase cities. Terminal number 7, 8 and 9 of X1 block stands for neutral city input. So it is again having two different terminals for 5 ampere and 1 ampere cities. If you are having 5 ampere secondary, select terminal 8 and 7, out of which 8 is common, sorry, 7 is common. And in case if you are having city with the secondary of 1 ampere, select terminal number 7 and 9, in which 7 is common. After this city coils, next is voltage coil. Terminal number X1, 10 and 11. Just below that, terminal number block number X5, it is having terminals 15, 16, 17, 18 and 19, 20. it is having voltage coil of RYB phases. So is it clear for the auxiliary supply, CT connection and VT connections? Next, looking to the digital inputs. So here we can see X3 terminal is having two number of digital inputs, DI1 and DI2. Possibly this particular block may have a range of 24-watt DC or AC for input number 1 and 2, and for the rest of the inputs from input number 3 to 16 may have different range of possibly 110 or 220 volt. So here we see that input number 1 and 2 is having terminal in block X3. In block X4 it is having terminal for input number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9, 10. But difference here we can see that DI number 7 and 8 is having one common one. Terminal number 16 is for digital input 7 and terminal number 17 is for DI number 8. Similarly 18 number is common, 19 number is for DI9 and 20 number is for DI10. Similarly X5 terminal is having digital input number 11 and 11, 12 and 13, and 11 terminal DI number 14, 15 and 16. So this relay is having maximum 16 number of inputs based on the selections. Now looking other than inputs, looking to the outputs, in X3 terminal we can see output number T1, T2, T3, T4, A1 and SF. So T1, T2, T3 stands for output number 1, 2, 3, 4, and A1 stands for signal alarm and alarm output, and this SF stands for the watchdog contact. Just in case if relay supply fails, this contact makes changeover and we can use this contact for the alarm that relay is not having the auxiliary supply kind of, or possibly relay is in off condition. Further optional three number of inputs, additional outputs are there, which is output number T5, T6 and T7. So any of VAMP 57 relay can have maximum 16 number of inputs and 8 number of outputs. So out of 8, 7 number outputs are trip output and 1 number output is for the alarm options. And here we can see X4 terminal for the communication. Here the example is given for the RS485 communication protocol. So here in X4 we can see the terminals for the RS485 communication, and one USB port is there for the software communication, which is the front USB port. So is it clear for the complete connection diagram of the relay?
So what is the maximum current capacity of output contact?
That I need to check. I will check and let you know.
Because one observation, these contacts are getting very much mal operated here.
Okay.
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 So that's why, please.
So when you say mal operation means in that output is getting failed or operating some.
Output.
So in the measurement menu we can see the primary current, primary voltage. Okay, the frequency, power, and the harmonics and the voltage segs. It is having a different menu in the display itself and in the software that we can see, we can monitor and measure the current, voltage, frequency, power, all the parameters. Now coming to the protection functions which are available in the relay. So here we can see in the overcurrent it is having three stages. Overcurrent 50-51, which is non-directional overcurrent, stage 1, stage 2 and stage 3. Also, it is having restrained voltage restrained over current and switch on fault. In earth fault, it is having non-directional earth fault, directional earth fault, directional over current, intermittent transient earth fault, and current unbalance. For the motor applications, it is having undercurrent, current unbalance, incorrect phase sequence, stalling, lock rotor, and number of start protections. Also, it is having thermal overload protection. In voltage rated protections, zero sequence voltage, over voltage, under voltage protection. For frequency, over frequency and under frequency, rate of change of frequency, and magnetizing inrush. For capacitor application, capacitor bank unbalance protection and capacitor over voltage protection. Also other protections like over excitation, reverse power, auto reclose, CB failure, synchro check, latch strip, and programmable stages. So it is having synchro check function also, that we can synchronize two different voltage sources, and we can achieve the synchronizing. It also has a programmable stages, that we can make a customized protection function for any of customized logic. So possibly, if you find any requirement that it is not fulfilling with the present protection functions, and you want to monitor any specific uh, parameter, and want to generate the output with some specific values, in that case you can use the programmable stages. You can customize the protection function based on the requirement. Okay. uh, is it clear for the protection functions available in the VAMP 57 relay? So we'll see the protection functions in detail during the hands-on session of the training, that how to simulate the protection functions, how to simulate the protection functions, how to record the operating time, how to see the graph it follows for the different characteristics. So all these things we'll see at the time of the hands-on session. Okay. So is it clear now? So next we can see for the software demo.
Any participants, if you have any query regarding this theoretical part, you can discuss, or he will move on to the software portion.
Yes. So I'm having this presentation for software part also, but it will be better if I show you the actual software demo. So it will help us to have more insights. Means how to create the logic, how to assign inputs, outputs, LEDs.
Um, while discussing these, just confirm about the auxiliary settings which are mentioned in the settings. No? Like priority, it is mentioned 20 millisecond. So such kind
Okay.
of settings, just give an insight while you are discussing the settings.
That will see. Means you are asking about the protection delay, right?
The protection delays are there. Other than that, there are some other reset settings and drop-off settings are there. Na? So we want to
Huh.
get more insight about
You are
those also.
talking about timers. You're
Yeah,
talking about timers
whenever
in the
you
logic, right?
so as you go through the settings, we will
Okay.
ask you for those settings.
Fine, fine. Okay, we'll see that.
Kunalji, I think he want to know about the various settings in the like general settings and overview setting basically,
Okay.
where
So that
we
all
where
the
we
settings, yes, please.
where we put the what kind of event recording is there, how many cycle it will collect the
Yes.
reports and all those things, and
Okay.
CT ratio, PT ratio, I think all those things.
Yes, yes. All that points will cover in the software part. So
Okay,
means it will help us to navigate through all the menus and get the idea.
okay.
Okay. So when we see a software, it is having a dedicated website called as am.vamp.fi. I will share this software this link with you, website link with you, so you can download the VAMP software. So basically, the software for this relay is called as a VAMP set. So that VAMP set software is free, available to download from Google. Okay, I'm just showing you that how to download the software by searching as a VAMP set. You will find an option here to VAMP set setting tool. The latest version available is 2.2.213. So by using this link, you can download the software, and you can see here it has started the downloads. Okay, so once you download the software, you will find the folder with the software version, and you will find the VAMPset tool here. Okay, so I will just open this tool. So this is the view you will get when you will open the software. So here there is no file created, or not any default file is opened. Only software is opened here, and with this open menu we can open any of specific file. So I'm already having some of the sample files, so I will open this. I will select this file and open it for the review. Whenever you will open the software, it will ask you for the password. So it is having three type of access levels. One is user, in which you don't require the password, but it will give you the limited accessibility of the relay. In the operator also, the password is numeric 1, in which you will get the limited accessibility, and you will only able to see the some of the parameters, but you will not be able to make any changes. If you want to have a complete accessibility, if you want to make any changes in the settings or logic, you have to select configurator level. By using this configurator level, the password default password is numeric 2. I have put the password as numeric 2 and I will apply. So it will open the file which I have selected. So by opening the file, you will get this type of view. These are the main menus called as general, measurements, inputs, outputs, protection, matrix, logs, communication, device test, and documentation. So if we see in the general menu, you will first you will get the device information. What is the main location? What is the sublocation? What is the name of the device? Here you can name the feeder name. Here you can put the sublocation and main locations. So whenever you are making any changes, it will highlight in the green. For example, I will note it as panel number 1, main in incomer. So here you can see that fonts are highlighted in red, which means whatever the changes we have made in the software are not saved and sent to the relay. So here only means whatever the changes we are making will be highlighted in the red. Once we save and send it to the relay, it will be get back to the normal fonts. So now first we'll see, as I have opened the one of the backup which I have available. First we'll see how to communicate the relay with the software. So for the time being, I will just close this file and will show the how to establish the communication between the relay and the software. So here you can find the option called as communication settings. You go to the settings, select the communication port which is selected for this relay with your laptop. Select the speed which is the baud rate available in the relay, and select apply. Okay, now just in case if you don't know that which port is selected for this relay, in that case you can go to the device manager in your system, and check the port number under the ports menu. Yes. Okay, so by selecting this port and the baud rate speed and select apply. By applying this, here you will find an option to
जी जो
connect.
है इसको भेजे थे, क्या नाम है, राकेश बिष्ट को। राकेश बिष्ट कौन शर्मा, अमित शर्मा को दिया है नोट पढ़ाने के लिए।
So after putting the communication parameters, you can select the option to connect. It will start communicating with the relay, means it will start establishing communication with the relay. Here I am not having a, relay available, so this communication will be failed, so I will just stop the operation. So once you establish the communication, this menu will be gray out because the relay is connected, and you will find an option for the disconnected, so whenever it is required. So once you connect the relay, you will get this kind of view. You will get the view of the selector relay. So whenever you are opening the logic or setting this kind of file, you will find other options to read or write any parameter to the relay. So here on the top you can see, here first option is write all setting to device, which means whatever the changes you have made, all the changes plus other parameters, by selecting this option, all the settings will be sent to the relay. The another option beside to this is write current view to device. So by selecting this option, only this particular page which is open will be sent to the relay. Just beside that, write changes to device. So by selecting this option, whatever the changes you have made in the settings or logic will be sent to the relay, means will be uploaded to the relay. Similarly, if you want to read the current view or want to read the complete settings, you can use these respective options. This option allows you to read all the settings from the device. So when you select this option, relay this your PC will read all the settings, all the logics and all the configuration to the system, and then you can save it to the respective location. So further to the device info, here you can see the LED names. It is having LED A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Total 8 LEDs are available, which is configurable. You can put the name of any LED, like in LED A, you can select as a overcurrent trip. Similarly for yes, please. Okay.
एक नंबर वो ब्रेकर अंदर नहीं घुसा।
In LED B, you can mention as a earth fault trip. In LED C, you can select as over voltage strip. Likewise, means for whichever the protection you have used this LED, you can rename it. After renaming, under the documentation menu, you can under the documentation menu you can print the this assignment, and you can paste it to the on the front of the relay. Coming to the disturbance recorder, in disturbance recorder you will find this configuration. So here you can see the maximum time setting is 10.24 seconds, and the recording length selected as 7.44 seconds. So here you can change the this time duration for the recording length. Generally we are suggesting to keep it as 1.5 seconds, and the pre-trigger time as a 50%. So pre-trigger time 50% means whatever the graph, whatever the uh, waveform it is capturing during the fault, that will be having 50% of 50% graph of pre-fault and 50% graph of post-fault. So with the recording length of 1.5 seconds, it will be having 750 milliseconds of pre-fault triggering and 750 milliseconds of post-fault triggering. So you will be getting the complete waveform of for the period of 1.5 seconds with the pre-trigger time of 50 seconds. Uh, is it clear for disturbance record?
Sir,
This is
in sample rate, yeah, sampling rate.
which one? That is 32 cycle. That we recommend to keep it as 32 per cycle only.
So
That is
that
the
means
simple
32
Kunalji,
samples per 20 millisecond.
per 20 millisecond. Yes,
Kunalji, it will
yes.
consume more memory, I suppose, because when I used to keep this at 32 per cycle,
Okay.
like I could only capture a few events only. So I used to keep it 8 per cycle. Was that correct?
It is correct, but again, what is the recording time you are keeping? Recording length?
Recording length was my for my about 2 seconds basically.
Okay. So basically, what is the maximum time setting is 10.24 seconds. So this depends on recording length which we have selected. In
Okay.
this case, for example, I am selecting 1 second. So I will be getting approximate 10 number of records. But
Yes.
if I'm selecting 2 seconds, so I will be getting nearly five number of records max.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
And recording mode
Okay.
is to be always overflow, I suppose.
Always this has to be overflow. Yes. Okay, so this setting is mainly for the means this particular page is for the setting of the disturbance record, but not for the assignment. The disturbance recorder assignment we can do in the matrix that we'll see further when we see the input and output assignment. So basically, whatever the settings we have done here is for the recording purpose, but this is not the assigned against any of function. If you want to have a disturbance record against overcurrent, earth fault, or any other protection, you have to assign in the matrix against this against the particular function, be it overcurrent, earth fault, or any other, that we'll see in the matrix part.
So can we use any calculated signals in this disturbance recorder,
Means
like neutral current, submitted neutral? So are those
it,
options available
that
in this?
that option is here. You can see current IL123, I0, and DIDO.
So I0 is your measured current, right? So
Measured
calculated
current,
currents,
yes.
can we include this? Calculated signals.
uh, that I need to check whether it is selectable or not.
Acha,
So
one more
once
thing
we,
that man,
yes,
uh, yeah, and one more thing, manual triggering is there in the bottom.
yes, yes,
So is it like manual trigger we can do in this relay while
we
keeping
can
relay
do.
online?
Yes, but whenever the relay is online, you can do the manual triggering. So when you will initiate the manual triggering, it will capture the disturbance record for that certain time.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Yes. So here one option is there for the release latches. By selecting this relatch and this option, we can use any of input or virtual output for the release of latches. So for example, I have assigned as release latches for the release, and di2 release latches is f1. So function 1 is the shortcut key which we can assign for the release of any latch function. For example, any of protection function is operated and is in latch condition, and if you don't want to go inside and reset the function and all, you can assign the f1 key, simply press the f1 key once and that protection will be resetted. But the same time, you will find an option for the time to be configured for the f1 button. If you are pressing f1 button once, it will be latched, so you have to press f1 button twice. This is nothing but the naming of the logical output. You can keep it as it is, or you can give the specific name as per the schematic. In the logic part, this is the sample logic which is prepared in my file. But if you want to add some more logic, you can click here. You can click at any of the area of this page, and you will get an option to add the new function. If I select yes, it will add AND gate by default. By selecting this and going to the edit properties, we can change the type of the gate, be it AND or gate, inverted AND, inverted or gate likewise. So for example, I am changing the this gate from AND to OR and inverting its output. So here you can see by selecting this, gate type is changed, and here one dot signal you can see, that is the that is the sign of the inverted output. Also by selecting this gate I can select the input signals. So for example, okay, I will just delete this first. So here you can see, you can get, you can find multiple input options, be it protection function or digital input or any of protection stage something. So just take an example that you want to assign any output against some conditions. For example, if you want to use the function of trip circuit supervision, it may have two different inputs, one for pre-close trip circuit supervision and second for post-close trip circuit supervision. Assume that is pre-close is for input number 1 and post-close is input number 2. So here we can select input number 2, add input number 1, add, and input number 2. So by doing this, here you can see, sorry, this is the virtual inputs. I will just remove this. We have to select the digital inputs. Digital inputs. Okay. Let's assume that input number 11 and 12 is there. So by selecting input number 11 and 12, okay. So DI 11 and 12 are selected for this gate. We'll change the property of the gate from AND to OR, and we'll assign the output also. So output we can assign as a any of signal relay and LED A for trip circuit supervision. So here you can see by default logic output is created for this function. We can assume that this particular logic is for trip circuit supervision. So in any case it will be getting either input number 11 or input number 12 at a time. So by using this OR gate, it will give you the output of signal output relay A1 and the LED A. Okay, so so when we are assigning the any of logic output, means any of output LED or input here, it will automatically be reflecting in the matrix. Okay, so here we can see against logic output number 11, A1 signal relay and LA is already assigned, but you can see it is highlighted in red color because it is only assigned but not saved and not sent to the relay. So once we save this and send it to the relay, this red color will change into the black, which means that whatever the changes we have made are saved in the relay.
One thing I would like to ask, sir.
Please.
Suppose going in matrix, here we have prepared, like suppose with some electrical protection over current. Okay.
Hmm,
Go to the logic.
yes, in logic. Okay.
Uh, Scroll down, sir.
Yes.
Like here,
Hmm.
volume overcurrent is stage 1, is stage 2. You have created some logic output
Yes.
9. Okay.
That is,
So
yes, please.
suppose overcurrent happens, we can
Hmm.
directly select in matrix like if overcurrent stage 1, stage 2, stage 3 happens,
Hmm.
the output contact T is automatically make high. By selecting that, can we do?
Yes,
Or
that we can do. Means by configuring either in logic or in matrix, any one is okay. So I got your question as if you want to assign any specific output again against a protection function that you can do. For example, here you can see against I greater trip T3 is assigned. Similarly, I double greater trip T3 is assigned. So if you are
yeah, but
not assigning in the logic,
this is assigned from the logic, na? You have prepared in
no,
logic set.
no. Here you can see in the logic that protection function is used for some other purpose, that any of protection is not start given as a not and assigned as a virtual output number 14. So this function is not used for the tripping of the protection function but for some other to achieve some other logics. Here you will not find any protection function which is assigned for the tripping in the logic, you
No,
can
just
see
now you
here.
told that whatever we will do in logic, it will
Yes,
automatically get mapped with,
yes.
like you have given here digital input
Hmm.
11, digital input 12. A1,
Yes,
you are getting mapped with output contact A1. So it
yes,
is automatically getting high in matrix.
yes. So that's what I'm telling, that at any of place, be it in logic or in matrix, if you are making any assignment in the logic, it will automatically reflect in the matrix. And if you are making direct configuration in the matrix is also okay. You got my point?
So, so in short, basically, relay uses the matrix, not the
Relay
logics.
uses the logic is the conditions. That means
Correct.
we are,
So that is reflected in the matrix.
yes. So whatever
So
the
OR gate,
logic you are
whatever we
preparing,
create. Yeah.
whatever the logic we are making will be automatically reflected to the matrix. But if you want to have a very short kind of configuration or one-to-one configuration, like if you want to have output number one against input number one, so you can make the direct assignment here in matrix. But if you want to make some conditions, some complex logic, so in that case, in that case, you have to use the logic. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay. So again, whatever the logic you are making will be automatically reflected in the matrix. And if you want to make the direct assignment, you can do it in the matrix itself. Further, what we were discussing about the assignment of disturbance records. So here you can see the DR option. So in against any of protection function, if you want to DR to be triggered, in that case you have to assign the DR here. So against whatever the protection function that DR line is intersecting, you have to select that. Here in configuration, you can see it is assigned for overcurrent stage 1 trip and stage 2 trip. If you want to assign for stage 3 trip also, you can assign it here. But here you can see the difference, it is in red. So once we send it to the relay, it will convert to the black. So the previous settings which we see for the disturbance records are the recorder settings, and the assignment what we need to do is in the matrix itself. Okay.
So one query with
Similarly,
respect to
yes, please.
DR. So we can assign it in the matrix. Let's say if
Yes.
some input is assigned in the DR and
Hmm.
that input is CB on.
Okay.
So what it will do? Let's say breaker is made on at some point of time.
Hmm.
So means DR will be triggered and then DR can be triggered during trip also, or is it being logged by the input condition? It will
No,
not
that
allow to re-trigger.
no, it will allow. See, for the trigger time which we have selected is 1.5 seconds. So if breaker is getting on and you have assigned this on signal to the DR, that it will trigger the DR for 1.5 seconds. Then after, if any state changes, if any protection function comes, it will trigger another DR. In that DR, that input signal will show the continuously high.
Okay, so that means once the input is high, it
Hmm?
doesn't mean it will hold the DR or it will block the DR or it will
No,
de-trigger the DR after every 1.5 seconds.
no, no, not like that. It will trigger for once whenever it
Okay,
makes
okay.
any
So
changes.
whenever any input changes, which is triggered
Hmm.
for DR, then
Hmm.
only it will trigger DR.
Yes,
Okay,
for
sir.
the certain time which we have selected for the triggering. Okay.
So just one question.
Hmm.
Suppose we have triggered the DR for from CB close, okay,
Okay.
using a logic, okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
giving the pulse. Suppose we have triggered, we are closing the breaker, and
Hmm.
at the time of closing of the breaker, we need a DR, okay.
Okay.
So for 2 seconds, it will capture the DR.
Yes.
Am I right? Okay.
Yes.
And at the same time, if overcurrent, any electrical protection happens,
Hmm.
a new DR will be triggered, or in the it will be captured in same DR.
If if it is happening between the same time frame, it will capture the common DR. But for example, if you switch on the breaker, it remains closed for 1 2 seconds, and then after it triggers the overcurrent, then it will capture the separate DR. But if it is within the same time frame, it will capture in the same DR for the triggering of digital input as well as the waveform of the overcurrent.
No, suppose the capturing time is 2 seconds. Okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
overcurrent happens after 1.5 seconds. So only
Okay.
500 millisecond we will have the signature of overcurrent.
No, but in that case, we are having pre-trigger time of 50%. So in the span of 1.5 second, 750 millisecond is the pre-trigger time. So after the breaker gets on, the trigger time will be 750 milliseconds only.
Okay, and in that case only for 250 millisecond we will have the overcurrent signature.
No, means the overcurrent is operating at the same time when breaker gets on. In that case, you will be having a trigger of 750 milliseconds. But we have to see that what is the operating time of that protection function also. For example, it is having operating time of 500 milliseconds. So in that case, you will get the graph for 250 milliseconds only. Because out of
Can we change the
1.5
timings?
timings of,
This triggering, suppose we are assigned on command as trigger,
hmm,
the the trigger will be for 750 millisecond. No? So can you change that time?
yes, we can change. Means for pre-trigger, we can change this value. Here you can see the pre-trigger time. So here we can change possibly from 50 to 30%, or we can change it to 0% also. But we generally keep 30 to 50% as a pre-trigger time, because we have to analyze the things that what exactly was happened before the fault operated.
Okay.
Okay. So logic and matrix part is clear. It is very simple kind of assignment. Mainly in the matrix, simply you can see the intersecting point and you can put the assignment. The difference between this both assignment is single dot denotes that it is connected, which is unlatched condition. Second option denotes as connected and latched. So here you can see a single dot. If I make the LED for the stage 3 also, here by selecting one you can see the single dot. If I select it once again, it will give the dot plus circle, which means this is the latch state. So whenever this protection operates, if fault isolates, again this LED will remain active until we manually reset it. So that's the difference of assignment. One is connected, second is connected and latched. Clear? Logic part is clear. If you want me to make any specific logic, we can build it here. So a very simple example we have taken for the trip circuit supervision using two number of inputs. Similarly, we can build a logic for the close permissive, which can see the conditions of breaker position, trip circuit supervision, spring charge condition, okay, breaker position beat in service or test, fault not operated, kind of conditions it can verify and give the final output for as a close permissive. So if logic part is clear, we'll move forward. In mimic, you can assign the customizable mimic based on the type of feeder and the rating and all. So here you can see this mimic is prepared for one of the outgoing feeder. Here you can see the breaker as a object. Just right side you can see the measurement values. These are the values like B phase current values, neutral current values, power, IL1, IL2 likewise. So here you can change the value also. So for example, if you want to monitor current of all three phases, so you here you can select as IL1, IL2, IL3. So these are the means default display options are configurable. Here you can see the sub location mentioned as 11 kV. So how it takes 11 kV is in device info you can see sub location is defined as an 11 kV. So the whatever the value we have mentioned here will be reflecting on the top of the display. If you want to remove this, you can deselect this and it will be removed. If you want to change the object type, you can switch this and you can select any other kind of the symbol. So by this way you can change the mimic. Coming to the scaling, here you will find an option for the CT VT ratios. So here you can see CT primary is 150, CT secondary is 1 ampere. So here CT ratio is 150 by 1 ampere. VT primary is 11 kV and VT secondary is 110 volt. Neutral CT, which is I0 CT. Possibly if you're using the same CTs of RYB phases and making the residual connection, in that case phase CT ratio and neutral CT ratio will remain same. But just in case if you are using a CBT CT or any other neutral CT, in that case the ratio of phase CT and the neutral CT might be different. So according to the CT ratios, you can put the values here for primary and secondary. Then after VT0 secondary is also there. You can see the voltage measurement mode also. So based on the connections, you have to select the measurement mode here. If you are using the synchronizing function, you have to select here as a 2, not 2, 3. Okay, here any of function you can use based on the connection diagrams. If this selection is not made properly, you will not get the proper readings of the voltage. So if you are giving three line to neutral inputs according to the connection diagram, you have to select here three line to neutral. If you are giving any other kind of connections, you have to select it here respectively.
Here, once, sir, I would like to ask one question. Here, generally 9 options are there.
Yes,
If
but
you
some
go
of the
to select,
options,
9
yes.
options usually used to come. But sometimes if we replace the relay,
Hmm.
or only 7 options used to come. Why it
Okay,
is
so
like that?
in that case, you may not be getting the options for the synchronizing.
This, we in general we use 3LN slash
3LN.
LL, but
Okay.
after means a lot of heat and trial, we used to remove the plug and play USB cable, and
Okay.
uh, means, that option automatically come, but I cannot understand why in initial time it's not showing. Why
Okay.
it is like that,
So
sir?
means I don't have come across such kind of scenario, but means you mean to say that initial when you connect the relay, you are not getting full
Now,
options.
suppose I have to replace the relay. I'm
Hmm.
having a setting of old setting of
Existing
my
one.
relay. Okay,
Hmm.
and if I want to replace the relay,
Hmm.
the old setting, if I want to send to that new relay, uh,
Yes.
the setting will not go as this
Ah.
mismatch due to this match of this thing.
Yes. 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 So in that case, first you have to retrieve the settings from the relay. Select the voltage measurement mode as per your existing relay. Send it to the relay, save it, and then you try for sending the existing setting to the new relay. It will take. But if it is having a different measurement mode selected, and if you are trying to send the backup relay with the different measurement mode, it will not take, because if you are changing this parameter, relay will reboot to make the changes in effect.
No, how if it's not showing the option, how to select that?
You mean new relay is not showing that option?
New relay is showing only 7 options. So where from I
Okay.
should go to the setting part so that it show all the 9 options? What should we do?
uh, so I'm not sure about that, but as you said that if you are trying 2 3 times, it is showing.
Yep, we are restarting the relay,
Okay.
and again by heat and trial, just you can say
Huh.
heat and trial, but
Means sometimes you are
logically,
getting, sometimes you're not getting, like.
uh, initial time,
Hmm.
whenever we are changing the relay, we are having
Hmm.
difficulties in getting all the 9 options.
Okay, means that is not in my observation, but we can see for that, because these relays are discontinued somewhere in 2017-18. Since 2018 we are giving Easergy relay for the replacement of this. So means I'm not sure about this problem, but I will check once with the repair team.
So when you have discontinued this relay,
Somewhere in 2017-18. I'm noting your
Sir,
point. Yes, please.
what is this angle memory duration?
Uh, I'm not sure about this. I need to check. I will find this in manual.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay. So next, going to the other functions, clock sync, date and time configuration, card info. Here, you will see the real-time status of all the cards, be it power card, VIO, VTIO, IO communication, display, memory. It will show the status here. If any of card is having issue, it will show here as a not okay. In the diagnosis also, you can see the functions. If any of function or any of parameter is having issue, will be highlighted here.
Sir, one more information we want. Can it
Hmm?
impact and lead to relay in block mode or some hang mode kind of thing? Diagnosis can
Because
lead to
of
the relay in the hold mode. Can that
no
happen?
diagnosis only to see the state of the relay. Means you don't have to make any changes. You only have to see the diagnosis options. Means what is the current state of relay.
So
You
that
can
means it
perform.
will not block the relay. It will not block
It
the
will not
relay.
block. It will not block the relay.
Because some CPU loading, if it is exceeding some particular value, or like say this maximum internal temperature, this is mentioned at
Hmm?
63. So
Yes.
are these by default or we can change these settings?
No, means it is whatever the value is set, we are not recommending to change it because that operation conditions are different, and possibly because of exceeding some level of temperature, it can lead to failure of the card. So in that
Hey,
case,
that's
this.
okay, but what I want
Hmm,
to understand is that maximum internal temperature, let's say it is set 63.
hmm,
What is the impact it is going to make on the relay? Let's say if the temperature goes to 65 degree, will
okay.
it initiate a card failure
No, but
diagnostics?
this is not a
Or
setting. This is not a setting. This is the value which you are getting from the relay. For
Acha,
example, whenever.
this is being
Yes,
monitored by the relay.
yes. So for example, whenever I have retrieved this file, at that time that relay would have this much of value which is recorded.
Vivek, you can download from the relays. Actually, at Tanda, we have some observations that
Hmm,
these relays are getting hanged. So
okay.
I think they can retrieve these particular parameters and they can identify if the temperature
That
is
is
going high.
that is why I'm telling now that these values are retrieved from relay. It is showing the value. It is not for the changing of value.
Nee, sir, but let's say if the relay records these values, or is it uh, send it to relay in the initial stage? I am
No, no,
not getting this point.
no.
No,
Relay is.
suppose it's showing just now I have extract. I am seeing one setting.
Hmm, hmm,
By default, it's a maximum internal temperature. It's showing 63, but in
okay.
my file, it's showing
Hmm,
59. Means it has reached
okay.
59 degree.
So
So you,
someday this relay would have reached to 59 degree as a maximum temperature.
okay. So
Okay. So that is the
it has
value.
recorded. It has reached 59 degree. That has been
Yes.
recorded.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So you can call it as a recorded or retrieved value
Okay. And what is the allowable maximum internal temperature?
that I need to check in the manual.
Because we are having a lot of observations here.
Hmm, hmm.
Uh, Hence, I will say this is on this platform that still
Okay.
after opening the breaker in
Hmm,
DR, we are getting the
hmm.
current
After
150
opening the
ampere.
breaker.
The
Okay.
breaker is open,
Uh-huh.
fault is cleared, but when
Hmm.
we are seeing the DR in one or two phases, still it's
So
showing
so whenever breaker is open, you are manually triggering the DR.
no. Just suppose on overcurrent
Hmm,
uh, protection
hmm.
feeder has tripped. Okay,
Okay.
I have extracted the DR.
Okay.
Okay,
Hmm.
and seeing the DR, the breaker is open, fault is clear, but the DR is still showing 150 ampere current. What should I
No, means you are
analyze?
Actually, it
you
shows.
you are seeing
Actually,
in
it shows.
the. Huh.
Sir, let me clarify. Add on to this particular
Please.
information. Before that tripping, the current was sinusoidal. After the
Okay.
tripping, this 150 ampere is the DC component. It is not a basically a fundamental
Okay.
component. It is a DC component which is shown in the DR.
Okay. Okay. So you mean
So
to
this is
say that.
happening in some of the relays.
Okay. So you mean to say, means what I understood from your point is that it was having certain load running in the feeder, and at the certain value that breaker got tripped, and for other phases that value is zero after the tripping, but in some of the phases it is showing some values.
Correct, sir, correct. And that is DC
Okay.
component basically. Some 150
Yes.
ampere DC values are being shown.
Okay. Okay. Right. So it may have some issue, that kind of issue for the measurement or something. Yes.
But the relay is working fine. That is not an issue.
Hmm.
It is not operating again or it is not latching in. As soon
Okay.
as it is reset, that value is there,
Hmm.
but it is not leading to any kind of trip because the fundamental component is not there.
Okay, so you just share me your observations. I will check with the relay repair team once, because they are doing such kind of analysis on the disturbance records and such kind of observations if they have. So I will check with them and will get back to you on this.
Sure, sir. And in the diagnosis itself, are there other parameters also which can be identified or taken up from the relay for evaluation purpose?
Yes, so here you can see like as we see the internal temperature and digital input errors, and this in below you can see the self-diagnosis option for different parameters, right? So if you want to run the self-diagnosis, you can select this and self-diagnosis stage 1 2 3, send it to the relay. It will diagnose the things. Means it will check that whether the if we are selecting this relay, so it will run the self-diagnosis and will check whether the relay conditions are okay or not. So here you can see usage. So that's it. Means it will show you the diagnosis of the CPU load, maximum CPU load, all the parameters. So all this value which is showing here are retrieved from the relay. Means these are not the changeable values. We only what we can do is we can reset the values once. So if you will select the reset diagnosis, send it to the relay. So all this value will be resetted to the zero and will start recording the new values. Okay. Going to the measurements, here you can
वन
see,
डाउट वी हैव कृणाल.
please.
सचिन एनएस प्रो बोल रहा हूँ. ये हमारा इधर जो
हाँ
है
जी.
डिस्प्ले बहुत बार फेल हो रहा है, मतलब फ्रीक्वेंटली.
Okay.
तो
Mm-hmm.
is there any way to find out, or what could be the probable reasons instead of sending the relay to again Schneider works?
No, even sending relay to the Schneider work won't help because that relays are non-repairable. So means I will check with the repair team. They may have some causes or possible reasons that why what are the possible reasons that relays are failing. But means I'm not having any specific input. Means the reason why these relays are getting means displays are getting hanged since means we are using Easergy relay in the replacement of VAMP since 5 6 years. So I'm not sure about these issues which you are facing, but we can check with the relay repair team once.
Okay, you can share those diagnostics with Sachin so that we
Okay,
can get it from him. Okay.
sure. Else you collect all the observations from respective sites, share it with me, and I will be sharing with the repair center and will be getting back on the possible causes and the solutions.
Excuse
Okay.
me, sir. Is there
Please.
any possibilities that if we are resetting the relay,
Hmm.
LED, okay,
Okay. Hmm.
and under voltage, we are having under voltage for incomer protection with
Okay.
like bus under voltage and get with your line under voltage.
Okay.
When
No,
I went to
bus under
Vivek,
voltage with line
Vivek,
voltage.
place it simply. Sir, the point is, whenever we are pressing a reset button,
Hmm.
is there any chance that any analog parameters can deviate from its own values,
No, not possible.
due to some assignment or something else in the logic or
So
somewhere?
you are resetting through shortcut key or going inside the menu?
Shortcut key F1, F1 or
Okay.
F2 we are using.
So if you are using F1 or F2 as a shortcut key for the resetting, it will only reset the things which are in latch condition, like possibly outputs or LED. Whatever the states are in latch condition will be reset to the non-unlatch, but it won't make any impact or any change on the analog inputs
So whatever being read by the relay, that should be in the same condition because
in same condition.
in one
Yes.
of the case, what has happened, some button was pressed
Hmm.
and the relay has malfunctioned. It has led to the tripping and subsequently during checking in the lab, the
Hmm.
analog parameters are found deviated. Means the relay was working fine till that button was pressed, but
Okay.
subsequently relay has developed a fault. On
Hmm.
inspection, some liquid was identified on the analog card. So that is the only
Okay.
observation. That is why it is being asked that can it lead to such kind of scenario?
No, no, it has no chance to have a deviation in any of the analog values, because that is the purely dependent on the input it is getting from the CTs and VTs. And the thing which we are discussing is for the resetting of the any of protection function, or any of output and the LEDs. So it has no connection between both of them. And I don't see any possibility that while resetting any of function, it will lead to the change of the analog signals.
Sir, it has
Only one
happened.
thing.
It has happened, and that a faulty relay is with me. If
Okay.
you allow me, I can share that faulty relay for RCA.
Yes, you can send it to the our repair center for the RCA. We can analyze the thing. But as you say, no, that you found some liquid on the card.
Mhm. Actually, when we are pressing the your TMU card, that
Hmm.
analog card, and
Hmm.
your F2 card,
Hmm.
they are very means the pin, that TMU card pin and the CP
Okay.
processor card pin and your
Hmm.
F2, both are
Hmm.
very means on very near, very near.
Okay. 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 You are saying that the card which is having a function key and the card
Mm,
which is having the analog signals are
mm,
very close.
very close.
And means you are suspecting that because of this short distance, it may
Mm,
have lead to some change in the signal.
yeah. One more thing I would like to say.
Hmm?
Suppose if we are connecting the relay, this VAMP 57 relay with the
Okay.
front port
Uh-huh.
USB.
Hmm.
Okay. When we are removing the USB cable now,
Hmm.
current is sensing earth fault. Relay is sensing earth fault.
Is
And
there?
in comer, for many feeders I have checked,
Hmm.
uh, erratic value in the current is being read by relay, and earth
Okay.
fault LED used to glow. Same
Hmm.
time, our many motor feeders have even got tripped
Hmm.
on the earth fault protection, and means
Okay. So
without
when
any
we are
fault,
putting,
current is
okay,
going to 34 ampere, full load current is going to 2000 ampere. It's
okay,
not possible
so
without, unless and until any fault is in primary circuit.
okay, so while putting the communication cable in the communication port or
Hmm.
removing it at that time,
Removing by
only
removing, sir.
removing.
Only
Okay.
removing.
Okay, at the time of removing the communication cable, you observe that it is having some deviation in the earth fault, and relay is getting tripped.
Only earth fault, sir.
Okay, means the observation you shared is the very strange for me, because we have
I
never
have shared
observed.
this thing with
But
Salab. Salab was
Shalabh
there, no?
Sharma,
Yeah,
yes,
Salab.
Shalabh Sharma.
Uh, Sir,
Okay.
one thing I want to share also with
Hmm.
this matter, sir. Also, I have found some issue in
Hmm.
our plant that when I have inserted the cable into the relay for relay setting, download, and other things, this
Hmm.
time also transformer feeder got tripped on earth fault, and I have shown that I have seen that, sir, at a time earth fault overcurrent all came, and
Okay.
suddenly the transformer feeder and motor feeder got tripped. I have faced 4 and 5 times
Okay.
this problem.
Okay. Okay.
Sir, if possible, if you can share your number, I'm having the video for that thing. I
Yes,
will just WhatsApp you that video. Uh,
sure. I will share my contact details and all these documents and all the PPTs with you. Since you are already using this relay, you must be having all the insights of the software and all. But again, the observation which you shared, I will share with the repair center and will get back to you, because the observation you are saying is very strange for me at least. Because operating of any protection function while making any changes, or by doing any operation is very critical, and is not in my observation till date that by changing any parameter or resetting the relay or removing the communication cable, it is getting tripped. It is very strange and very critical. So I will check with the relay repair team. They, if you are saying, means they will definitely be having some observations on this. And as you said that Shalabh Sharma is aware of this, I will check with Shalabh also.
Okay.
Sir, one thing I want to add regarding this issue.
Hmm.
After changing the relay display,
Hmm.
we have rectified this issue. Means after
Display.
changing the the front display, after changing the display, the
Okay.
front portion of the relay, when we
Hmm.
have tested the relay and when we have inserted the cable, this time we got no tripping.
Okay. Okay. So that relay display is replaced by you or by the repair center?
Sir, display repaired by actually our vendor people,
Okay.
BHL people. They
Okay.
have replaced the display, and after
Okay.
that the issue resolved for this particular
So
relay.
possibly it may have issue with the earthing of the relay. Possibly that port, that is the metal port, no, with of the communication port, that must be touching with the any of part of the internal relay, and must be leading to the deviation in the current. That's what I suspect. Because as you
Oh,
said that
and
you
sir,
replaced,
analog parameter can be means deviated. That's why if means with the
means
pressing of
that
that,
is
I'm
possibly
having
because of
high unit
internal.
tripping with that VAMP relay operation.
Okay, okay. No, means what I suspect is because of earthing issue, or possibly that port is touching to any of internal component, it can lead this issue. That's what I suspect. But I am not having any such case in the observation that it is leading to the tripping because of uh, such operations. Okay, again, you share all this observation with me. Shalab must be having idea of all this, and I will check with the repair center also. So at least we can prevent such kind of mal operations. Okay, can we move ahead? Looking to the measurement functions, here you can see the measurement values for current, voltage, and the frequency and all. In current harmonics, voltage harmonics, power, PQ diagram, here you can see the real-time values. Here you will find one option for the auto boot. One option is for the auto polling is there. By using that, you can see the real time values. Yes, see, this is for the sync time and date. Okay. Phasor diagram, you can see the real time values here. So when you are approaching for the synchronizing, you can see this voltage source of both the sources, and identify the difference between be it voltage, frequency, or phase angle. So in this measurement menu, you will find various kind of the measurements. In inputs and outputs, here you can rename the inputs, digital input 1, digital input 2, likewise. In digital inputs, here you can see the state of the digital inputs. Which input is high will be displayed as 1, which input is low will be displayed as 0. Similarly, names for virtual input states, names for the output relays. Here you can rename the relays which are named as a trip relay 1, 2, 3 by default. Here in
And this
relays,
binary output contacts can be mapped in event. Can we map this binary when it is getting high or low? Can
it
we
is
map
it is
them
there in the
in event?
event. Yes, it is already there in the events. If you will see in the logs, in the event buffer, here you can see DI9 on, DI9
Then
off,
DI is your input contact, binary input. I'm asking of binary output, output
outputs.
contact.
No, for output, I don't think it is configurable. Just let me check in the records. No, all are the digital inputs and virtual outputs only. So I don't think that outputs will be configurable for the events, but it must be triggering in the disturbance records. Here in this relays, you can get the real-time status of the output relays by enable forcing and sending it to the relay. You can trigger the output relays, and you can change the signal and test it for the respective inputs and respective outputs. So this is only for the checking purpose. Names for virtual outputs, name for function buttons and function buttons. So here in function buttons, you have to as we see here, that function buttons is assigned for the quick reset. But here in function buttons, you have to select the certain time. So for example, I'm setting as a 1 seconds. So whenever we are pressing uh, the function button, it will be giving pulse of 1 second when I am selecting 1 second here. But by keeping zero means it is infinite. So for example, you have set it as zero here, and the function button one is assigned for the resetting. So if you will select it once, it will be in latch condition because the time delay is here is zero, and zero is equal to infinite. So what will happen that if you are pressing F1 button one time for the resetting of any particular function, it will remain in latch condition, and whenever any other fault comes, any other in output or LED comes in a latch state, it will be resetted automatically. So this point has to be taken care here. If you are keeping it as a zero, you have to press F1 or F2 button twice, or else you have to assign as some a pulse duration, be it 1 second, 2 seconds, or something. Is it clear?
So what is advisable from the Schneider side? Should we keep 0 or 1?
We are generally keeping as a 1, but if you are keeping as a 0, you have to press this button twice. So for first for acknowledgement and second for resetting, releasing. So either you can select as a 1 second. So 1 second pulse is good enough to reset all the outputs and the LEDs which are in latch state. And if you are keeping it as a zero, you have to press it twice. Going to the protection functions, here in valid protection stages, you can see and you can see which are the protections are enabled and which are the disabled, and you can change the state also. For example, here in current stages, overcurrent stage 1 and 2 are enabled, stage 3 is disabled. By selecting here, I can enable the third stage also. So this is the single page where you can see the option of enabling or disabling all the protection functions available in the relay. Similarly, you can go to the respective function also and select for enabling or disabling. So here in valid protection functions, you will find option of all the protection functions, and going into the details, you will be finding the protection settings. So if we take an example of I greater overcurrent stage 1, here stage is enabled. This particular function is for the monitoring only. So here you will be able to see the maximum current. Here you will be able to see the status. In normal condition, the status will be dash. If protection is in pickup stage, it will be changed to start. If it is in trip stage, it will show trip here, and if it is blocked because of some reason, it will show the block here. So here it will show you the status. No need to make any changes here. On this particular parameter is only for the monitoring. Here below you can see the estimated time to trip, which means For example, protection is in start stage, means protection has picked up, but waiting for the time lapse for the defined function. For example, here we have selected as a IEC normal inverse characteristic. So as a calculated value, if it is having two times of load than the set value and the TMS is 1, it will take 10 seconds. So here it will show you the estimated time to trip, which will be decreasing gradually, be depending on the load current. So again, this parameter is only for the monitoring. Here you can see option to change the setting group. Setting group 1 DI control, 2, 3, 4 DI control. So for example, I am selecting here DI1. So whenever by default setting group 1 will be in active condition. By setting this, whenever input 1 is triggering, the active group will switch from 1 to 2. So generally we are not recommending to use this function, because unless and until you have a specific requirement, no need to change the setting group. So we are not making any changes here, and here you can see the active group is 1. If you are changing the active group here, you can see the change in the color, that this group 2 you can see as active group, and rest of other are gray out. So by default we are using as a group 1 as active group only. In active group you can see the changeable value, means customizable value of the pickup setting. Here pickup setting is 0.69, which means 69% of the full load current, the city ratio. So in primary terms, it is 104 ampere, because our city ratio is 150 by 1 ampere. So by looking to the city ratio in terms of 69%, the primary value is 104 ampere. So this 104 ampere is not the editable value, but whatever the value we are selecting in the terms of secondary will be automatically reflected here in the terms of primary value. In the delay curve, here you can see we are having option of definite time, IEC characteristic. Here selected is IEC normal inverse characteristic. We can change from normal inverse to very inverse, extremely inverse, long time inverse, or any other parameters. And then after we have option to put the operating delay, which is the TMS. And this operating delay is mainly for the DT characteristic, and the inverse time coefficient K is the TMS applicable for the IDMT characteristics. And just below this you can see the delay time with the respected to the fault current. So here you can see when the current value is 4 times of the set value, operating time will be 0.99 seconds, because the TMS is 0.2 seconds. So these are the calculated values based on the TMS. Uh, uh, is this clear? Anyone please confirm?
Yes.
This is okay. What about the harmonics?
Harmonics we can select either as on or off. If this feeders we are means this relay we are using for transformer feeder, and it is having harmonic contents at the time of initial charging, we can select this as on. So in that case it will prevent tripping at the time of inrush.
Hey,
From which
so
harmonic?
including harmonics means the relay will operate on fundamental including harmonics at that particular value. Let's say if the fundamental is 100 ampere and
Hmm.
your harmonics is 10 ampere.
Hmm.
So will the relay read the current as 110 or will the relay read current as 100?
No,
Let's say setting
it
is
will
104.
see. Yes, it will see whether it is having some harmonic contents. If it is having
Mhm.
harmonic contents, it generally blocks the protection at the time of inrush only.
But that is a different setting, na, sir. That is in
हाँ,
cold load or in rush.
yes.
But this include harmonics means, matlab in the this particular
The
protection.
operating, you are asking about the operating current. So operating
Correct, sir.
current,
Operating current.
yes, operating
Mm.
current I have observed as a accurate one, which is the set value. Means I have not observed the deviation in the operating current whenever the include harmonics is kept on. Means whenever we are simulating the protections, we have not observed the deviation in the operating value whenever the include harmonics is in on condition.
Because what I feel from this include harmonics is that during the calculation of the current, it will take the harmonics also. Let's say if this particular transformer feeder is having a VFD on the LT side, so
Okay.
it will not be having a complete fundamental component.
Mm-hmm.
So that way, we need to include harmonics during the overload operation. Otherwise, it will be sensing only the fundamental. If there is a fault in the VFD drive, so
Mm-hmm.
it may not be operating on the harmonics. It will be searching for the fundamental component. That may be the reason that this include harmonics is provided in this. That is why I am asking this particular question.
Okay. But means if I share my experience, whenever we are doing secondary injection, we have not observed means we have not observed any change on the in the magnitude whenever we are operating any protection.
But you might have tested on the fundamental only, no? You might not have injected harmonics also along with the
Yes,
fundamental.
yes. So we means agree. We that time we are only injecting the calculator values.
Anybody from participant, if somebody has done on this, otherwise somebody may check this particular thing and may share with the team members or other corporate OS, then we can circulate this.
Sir, we have
This is just
tested.
an observation.
You know,
Hmm.
Sachin sir,
हाँ हाँ बोलो विवेक.
ये सर यूएटी ट्रांसफार्मर के लिए टेस्ट किया था हम लोगों ने.
Hmm. Mm-hmm.
तो ये हार्मोनिक्स इंक्लूड करके ओवर करंट डिटेक्ट करता है सर.
And if this is off, that means it will take only the fundamental. It would not consider
Yes.
the harmonics in the tripping value.
Yes.
Okay, so this is just an
So
information for other participants also, right?
So this should be
Thank you
so
so
for
much.
observation is
this
that
should be
whenever
on.
this yes, observation is whenever this include harmonic is on, in that case operating value is differing from the set value.
Yes,
No,
yes.
sir. The point is, nahi, the total current will be taken
Hmm?
while operating. That means if the pickup setting is 104, so if
Okay.
this include harmonics is off and the current which is injected in the relay is
Hmm?
100 ampere fundamental and 10 ampere your
Harmonic with
harmonics. Let's say
harmonic.
third harmonics we are talking about. Third
Hmm.
harmonics. So 100 plus 10 ampere, that is 110. And the pickup setting
Yes.
is 104 ampere.
Okay.
So if the include harmonics is off, so the relay will not uh, pick up on 100 plus 10 ampere. However,
Okay.
if you make this include harmonics on, so
Hmm.
considering 110, the relay will be in pickup condition at 110
Okay.
ampere and it will
Okay.
operate as per the setting.
Okay.
This is what we
So
want to
we
mean
can
from
we
include
can
harmonics.
okay. So if we say in the single line means whenever the include harmonics is on, it is including the harmonic current and sensing the protection.
Correct, sir. And with include harmonics off, it will take only the fundamental component.
Only the fundamental. Okay. Fine. So further, here in the bottom of this page, you can see the fault log. That is a kind of the fault stamping. That what was the date and time, active group, fault type, what was the fault current, lapse time, lapse delay, and the pre-fault current. So it will show you the value whenever the any protection is operating. It will show the stamping here that which particular phase was having a overcurrent, what was the active group, what was the date and time, and what was the fault current and delay. So that is kind of the stamping we are getting. Similarly, for any other protection, we can see for second stage also. In second stage, it is having only option of definite time characteristic. Even in third stage also, we can see with the operation delay of 30 millisecond as minimum. And in second stage, we can see the 40 milliseconds as a minimum operating delay. So stage 2 and stage 3 both are having definite time characteristic, while stage 1 is having option of IDMT and DMT both. Similarly, we can see earth fault also, almost similar kind of protection functions. It is having four stages, or earth fault stage 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Five stages it has with the different accuracy. You can see the operating time, minimum operating time, 40 milliseconds and 30 milliseconds for fifth stage. Similarly, we can see for the voltage protection also, over voltage, under voltage. Over voltage here in this example is set as 120% of UN with the 200 milliseconds time delay. Protection is disabled. We can enable from here. Status here we can check start, trip or block, same as SML other protections. In under voltage, it is having low voltage blocking. So whenever here we have set 10% setting as a low voltage blocking. So whenever the voltage is below 10% of the rated, it will not sense the under voltage. It will consider that this is the dead bus condition, possibly dead bus or dead line, but it will not operate the protection until it is having 10% of voltage available. So in that case, if voltage is less than 10%, it will show the status as a blocked here. So is it
Yeah,
clear for, please?
so just a query with this under voltage and over voltage.
Hmm?
This hysteresis 3% means whenever the voltage drops below 80%, let's say to 78%,
Hmm?
it should go above 81% for the protection to reset. That
Yes,
3% is okay.
yes,
So it is
yes.
not
Means
80 plus 3, it is 78 plus 3.
78 plus 3, yes. So
And what is the minimum
that value
setting
will be
possible in this
changing.
hysteresis?
Minimum setting, you say. Let me check. Be it, it is taking 0.1,
Okay, so
1%.
that means 0.1%. So
Yes.
we can keep this as a minimum in case of under voltage. Let's say if there is a momentary under voltage, because the release delay is also 0.06 second, right?
Okay.
So release delay means if the voltage restores above
Hmm?
80%,
Hmm?
so it will take 60
It will take 60
milliseconds to
milliseconds.
ensure the reset. Yeah,
Yes, yes.
reset.
But it won't make much impact because it is not like
20 second is the delay.
20, means 20-second delay is something different, means that is the operating delay, that is default delay. We can change it. We are generally keeping as a 500 or 500 millisecond or 1 second. But when we talk about this hysteresis difference of 0.1%, if you are keeping is that it has 3% won't make much difference, because under voltage situation is not like that. It will gradually go down from 100 to uh, 80%, 79%, 78%. Like if it will give you the
Yeah,
uh,
correct. In case of under voltage, it is okay, but in case of over voltage, it will make an impact
it
because
will
in over
matter.
voltage
Yes,
condition, yeah, correct.
yes, yes,
So there we need to keep it minimum, right?
yes. There you can keep it as a minimum. Here again we can see the minimum is 0.1%.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Let me check in the third stage again. Again, in all three stages, it is having zero point 0.1 minimum. Okay, so other than this protection functions matrix we already see in logs, we can find the events. It will record 200 number of events at a time. In communication, we find the option of Modbus main configuration. It's a slave ID, mode bit rate, and parity. This slave number will be unique for all the relays
Excuse me,
in
sir.
Modbus. Please,
Please come to log.
logs.
Uh, Here, if you can see, what is this Ethernet port to link down, Ethernet port to link up? Several times, why it is used to come like this?
Which one you are saying? It okay.
You go to
Okay.
here, 14
So
number, 15
yes, this
number,
one, no. Yes, yes. So
continuously it will come and reflect. And
so
what is this voltage
possibly
sag 1, 2, 3 and off?
this voltage seg means it is recording any of uh, difference in the voltage of the phases. Say voltage seg on 1 2 means RY phase, 1 2 3 means RYB all
Where
three phases.
setting is there for voltage sag?
Sorry?
Where is the setting for the voltage sag?
No, that is internal calculation. It is calculating internally. Even for this Ethernet port link down and link up means it if it is sensing any connectivity issue, if any of port is getting disconnected and getting connected once again, it will record the event in that case.
Can we make it disable?
I need to check for this relay. In other relays, we are able to select the events for which function you want to make it enable and disable. But for this, I need to check.
Kunalji, whether this voltage sag is directly related to your under voltage setting?
No, that is the internal calculation, not related to the under voltage setting.
Sir, please go to event buffer.
Hmm?
Okay. Here I can see on 25 number device
Yes.
restart is there.
Device restart,
Somewhere,
yes.
somewhere or any suppose if I'm resetting the LED,
Hmm?
okay,
Hmm?
can it be logged in event? Because where from
No,
this event, where from it is by default
this
or
no, this particular event, event number 25, is
uh,
for device restart. Means if you are making any changes in the in the configuration, possibly CTVT ratio or changes in the logic, after changing in the logic, it will ask to the reboot the device. So if you are making any changes in the logic
suppose
and
sir, suppose
hmm,
if we are restarting forcefully restarting the means
hmm,
by
rebooting
removing
you
the
mean?
rebooting. Okay,
In that
it
case,
will record. It will
no, in
record
that
that.
case it will not record. This device restart means you have made any changes in the configuration which requires reboot to take the changes in effect. Means it will whenever you are sending the changes, it will
Yeah, I got that thing. Sir. I got that thing.
yes. So in that case
And
only in that case only you will get this event.
okay. Second thing, sir, uh, can we suppose we are resetting the LED? Can it will
Hmm.
be logged in event
LED reset.
or F1 button pressed like that, F2 button pressed, something like that? Can we reset it? Can we log that thing in logic
I
event?
mean it should be possible because means in this relay I'm not able to find the option to assign the event, but in
नहीं
other
वो तो जैसे
relays.
सर हम एक लॉजिक बना करके लॉजिक को ऑन ऑफ कर सकते हैं, वो मैंने किया है कि जब भी F1 F2 को हम प्रेस कर रहे हैं, ठीक है,
Hmm.
by
Hmm.
pressing the we are going prepared that means by pressing F1 and F2 one logic like logic 18 is there na, some
Hmm.
logic 19 will be
Okay. In
created
that.
and that
Okay.
in that condition logic 19 off, logic 19 off,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
we can go and we can just do that thing. but
Okay.
directly I want, because
No,
logic
direct
19.
assignment is not there. Means that's what I'm telling, that I'm not able to find the direct assignment.
No, in
Okay,
this
because
event
if
enabling, you
that
can see.
logic 19, but somebody have to go see the logic. What is that logic 19 is there?
Hmm.
Somebody have to go in the logic sheet. I mean, and there they have to see that.
Okay, you asked about the function button. No,
Uh,
just let me check for the function button.
it's not there, sir.
No, it is not there for the specific this function button and all. But as you said, that we can achieve through the logic.
अभी नहीं किया है क्या? अच्छा. Sir, one thing more. Can you
Hmm.
just explain event means object? This event enable object. The use of
Yes.
this.
Object denotes the breaker condition. Like here we can see that in mimic, here we can see this breaker is having denoted as a object 1, object 2, object 3 likewise. So whenever this object changes its states, just let me check in the controls. It is configurable. Objects, here in objects you can see here object 1 is we can define it as a circuit breaker, CB. Object 2 we can define as as an isolator. Object
अरे
3
कसम
we
वो मोटा
can
मोटी कपड़ा नहीं कराया था क्या? कल
huh
बोला था ना.
uh, object 3 we can define as a earth switch. So whenever this object 1 means circuit breaker changes its states, it will be logged as an event. So object is nothing but the equipment that you are controlling. So here, as you can see here, DI for object open is VO1 and DI for object close is DI2, which means here if we are selecting DI1 here, which means whenever DI1 and 2 changes its states, it will change its states physical state on the HMI also. Means these are the object configuration. So
Please
whenever,
explain once more, sir. Sorry, I'm explaining, but
please,
explain once more, sir.
so take an example of object 1. We have defined circuit breaker as a object 1 and we have assigned DI1 for the DI object open and digital input 2 for the DI for object close. So this assignment we have made. So whenever the relay is getting input number 1, it will understand that this object, this CB is open, and when it will get DI number 2, it will understand that this particular CB is closed. So accordingly it will change its states here. So here you can see it is in open condition, means it is getting input number 1. If it is getting input number 2 means this state will change from open to close. Are you getting it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But this is only with respect to the display mimic.
With the display and with the event also, but in event you will be getting as object 1 close or object 1 open likewise.
Okay.
Yes. So in communication you will get the modbus addresses to map with the SCADA or any other monitoring system. Here I think these options are not enabled. These options are available in the Easergy. So when we say the Easergy relay is the updated version of VAMP relays, made on this almost same platform, but is the upgraded one. So if you want, I can give you the brief or the demo of the Easergy relays also. Do we have time? So we can go for the Easergy relays also.
Uh, Sir, I have some small question is that.
Hmm?
So these WAMP 57 relays are also communicating with the SCADA.
Hmm?
So how to enable this PRP protocol in this PRP configuration? Is it
Okay.
compatible with the PRP or not?
No, means that depends on the protocol which is selected at the time of ordering. For
Okay.
example, this relay is having a Modbus protocol, Modbus RS485 protocol. But
Mhm.
if you want to know the other protocols which are available in the relay, these are the list. You can see.
The question is that we have already procured, that means through the project itself, we bought this one.
Okay.
So how to know whether this is the compatible with the PRP or not?
Okay, that you can you can see the complete model number based on which you can get the idea. Like, for example, uh, you can see the model number and just a minute, the communication protocol, you can see from this type of port.
Okay.
For example, this RS485 protocol is for Modbus serial, RJ45 for Modbus TCP IP, LC, and this port is for the 61850. Likewise. But I'm not sure on the PRP protocol because I don't see it here in the list.
Sir, I have one doubt.
Hmm?
This relay reset, we are doing only use of laptop only. Once
Okay.
86 pickup,
Hmm.
we are able to reset by only from the laptop.
Okay.
Uh, is there any possibility to reset from the local by pressing any button?
Yes, means you are saying that if any protection operates, it activates any of output and
86.
the LED.
Ah,
86. No, 86 is something different. 86 is getting operated through the digital output of this relay.
ah.
Resetting 86 is the manual task. Resetting this numerical relay, this VAM57 relay, you can do it from the local display. You can press the button and it can be resetted. But I don't think that you need to connect the laptop. Why you need to connect the laptop to reset the relay?
No, here that one R in the relay software, one R is there.
Yes,
Resetting.
yes,
Only
yes.
that only here the relay which only two relays are there here in NTPC Conti. In that
Hmm.
only through that only that relay is accepting. Uh,
No, see,
in,
it has two options. Here you can see the I info button. You
mm,
can press this button and it will ask you for the password. You can put the password. Again, press this button and you will find an option to reset the latches. That is first option. Second option, second option is for the assigning of the shortcut key, which is F1 and F2. You can
F1.
assign either, yes, you can assign either F1 or F2 for the resetting, and you can by simply pressing this button you can reset the relay. Means you don't need to connect the laptop.
Okay, for that how to configure that one so that we want to do that
I will show you.
R
See,
we want to configure.
yes,
Reset
here you
not
can
configure from
here
the F1.
here you can see release latches.
Mm.
In release latches, here you can select as a release, and DI to release latches is F1. Even if you want to reset it remotely, you can select any of input and trigger it remotely, and relay will get resetted automatically. But for the manual reset, you can select as a F1 or F2, any one of the function keys.
Okay.
Okay, so see, here you have to select as release. DI to select the DI to release the latches is F1, and here in uh, this input and output function, under function button, here you have to select as a 1 second. So what will happen that whenever you are pressing F1 or F2, it will reset the latches. It will release the pulse for of 1 second to release the latches. But if you are assigning it as a 0, means that will be in continuous state. So better you assign it as a pulse for 1 second, or you praise that F1 button twice. So whenever you are pressing this F1, no, this LED will glow. Very first LED is for F1, right
Yes,
side
yes.
first LED is for F2. So you have to see that LED should not be active in continuous. If this LED is continuously high, means this F1 button is latched. So what will happen that whenever any fault will operate, since this
That
F1 button is in continuous stage, it will automatically reset. You will not
reset.
get the idea.
Okay.
So you have to take care of this. You have to see whether this LED is in continuous state. It should not be.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So two options, either you press the resetting key, which is shortcut of F1 or F2 twice, or you assign it for the with the pulse of 1 second.
1 second. Okay, 1 second will be much better.
Yes.
Sir,
Excuse me, sir.
can
Please come to the logic, please.
Yes.
And logic.
sir, one
Logic.
query, Vivek, एक minute. Sir,
Sir,
just
यहाँ
one
पे
query
क्या
with
करना
respect
है?
to
Okay, okay, sir. Please.
Please.
just a query with respect to that F1, F2 key.
Hmm.
Let's say you were saying that F1 is in pressed condition.
Hmm.
So, can it lead to relay not to operate? Means not to latch the operation of the protection. Can it
Yes.
happen?
Yes. That's what I'm telling. No. If F1 is in continuous state, means protection operated, and F1 is in press condition, it will automatically reset. It will not
So
be
the
in latch condition.
output will get high or not?
Output will get high, but will not remain latched. It will get high once, but it will not remain in the latch condition, because resetting pulse is already there. So it will operate and
So
will
that
get reset.
means, no, but that output command, it will take some 50-60 millisecond for energizing the trip coil.
Yes,
So can it happen that before operating the trip coil, the protection will get reset
it will not happen.
because the protection is in operating condition at that particular point
Yes,
of time.
yes.
Okay. So
Because
it will
because
reset only
until
when then the protection
until it
get reset.
operates, it isolates the breaker. The protection function will be continuously high. Take an example of overcurrent. Overcurrent until the overcurrent protection is high, breaker is not operated, means breaker is not getting tripped, it will continuously sensing the current.
Okay. So whenever the protection is resetting, then only F1 will function.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. That's okay.
Okay.
विवेक
Okay.
ठीक है आगे पूछ.
सर इसमें एक होता है F1 बटन प्रेस करने पे रिले लॉकआउट में चला जाता है. व्हाट डज दैट मीन?
Lockout में means
रिले लॉकआउट मीन्स
कभी कभी ये ना सर F2 दबाने से ना रिमोट मोड डिसेबल करके भी आ जाता, कंट्रोल डिसेबल इन रिमोट स्टिक करके भी आता सर.
ये तो F1 उसका असाइनमेंट आपको देखना पड़ेगा. F1 और F2 का असाइनमेंट क्या है. जैसे if you can see here,
here you have assigned here F1 na means button F1 and F2. Here you have assigned for what to say
MTPS/LMI/PMD/.
here you can select as a object, control object, F2 also you can select as a control object. By sending this, you will be able to select the object here. So for example, if you want to use F1 and F2 for the closing and opening of the breaker, so against this you can select the object here, and you will be able to means this is the kind of the shortcut keys, no? So you can use it either for the resetting of the protection function or for the controlling the object. Basically, that is a kind of shortcut keys you can use for any of function.
Select control, it is there F1 like that same. It is here. It is your selected as a object control.
Mhm.
In a way, it is F1 only. F1 here also F1 here also F1. Then how it will functions?
No, come again.
Here button also F1.
Hmm.
Selected control also F1.
Okay. So
Button means.
so that is means that it is not having any specific configuration means.
Okay.
Yes.
Sir, going to the logic sheet.
Once object is selected,
Okay.
okay. Object is
Suppose we
selected.
want to write the any comment here. If
Okay.
T1, T2, T4 is there, if I just I want to write any comment.
You can put some comment. You can here add here like TCH. So here you can see the comment TCH.
But this how it is signified
Okay,
for this.
we'll explain once again. You have to select the gate,
Okay.
go to the edit properties, enable the info, and write anything here, like whatever the information you want to put here.
Like right here supervision, city supervision, here
Okay.
trip call supervision.
So it is written here. By selecting this, you will get this info. So whatever the comment you are putting will be placed next to the gate. Here you can see VCB on.
क्या हुआ?
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
The DL is not recording. What is the reason, sir? What is the probable reason DL is not recording?
You may not have assigned here in the matrix.
No, I have assigned all these things.
Yet it is not recording.
Yes, sir.
Have you tried with the manual trigger?
Yes, sir.
It is happening?
Hello? Sir.
Manual trigger is happening?
Yes, sir, manual trigger is happening. But one thing is we have observed, क्या है कि वॉल्स है ना सर, ऑप्शन जो है ना डीआर में, उसमें वॉल्स हो नहीं पा रहा है. फास्ट रिकॉर्डिंग इज शोइंग.
ओवरफ्लो, हाँ, ओके. नहीं, उसमें ओवरफ्लो ही सिलेक्ट करना है.
वॉल्स तो सेलेक्ट किया, फिर भी फास्ट रिकॉर्ड से दिखा रहे, प्रेजेंट रिकॉर्ड नहीं दिखा रहा. तो डिलीट करने के बाद हो जा रहा है वापस. फास्ट रिकॉर्ड्स को हम डिलीट करेंगे, उसका बाद रिकॉर्ड हो रहा है.
अच्छा,
क्या हो सकता है, प्रॉब्लम क्या है? रिकॉर्डिंग मोड इज आल्सो, एवरीथिंग इज रिकॉर्डिंग रन टू बी 2 seconds, एवरीथिंग इज ओके. But DL is not recording. At that time we have done, we delete the past records and we are taken the manual taken. We have DL is taken that time.
So previously how many records it had? Which you deleted means it was having only one record?
No,
or
6.
more than one?
6
record.
More than one.
Means it is recording 6 records, no? But you means after 6 it is not recording additional seventh one.
But it recording mode is also, no sir? That
No,
means
what my question is that you are having 6 records in the track and it is not recording 7th record. Your question is.
Yes.
which means that you have to see the recording length respect to the
That is
maximum time
2 second only.
setting.
That is 2 second only.
So 2 second only means it will not able to record the disturbance for the total more than total 10 seconds. So for example, if you are having 2 second setting here, it will not be able to record for more than 10 seconds in total. So it will be able to record maximum 5 or 6 recordings only.
560 करते हैं उसके बाद नेट इंडिया नहीं आता। हाँ, उसके बाद क्या है 6 रिकॉर्ड्स के बाद रिकॉर्ड नहीं करते हैं।
वो रिकॉर्ड मतलब वो फर्स्ट इन फर्स्ट आउट रहता है, तो सिक्स्थ
वही हो नहीं पा रहा ना, so that's what my question.
ओके ओके
That's what.
दैट आई विल चेक पॉसिबली कुछ सेटिंग का इश्यू रहेगा। आप या तो मुझे बैकअप फाइल भेज दीजिए, मैं एक बार चेक कर लूंगा, बिकॉज दैट इज काइंड ऑफ फर्स्ट इन फर्स्ट आउट। 6 रिकॉर्ड हो गया तो फर्स्ट चला जाएगा, 7th रिकॉर्ड हो जाएगा।
That will not happen. ऐसा ही होना चाहिए। Recording mode is also means that will happen.
Happening, yes, it is happening like that only in other relays. But you send me this this particular settings file, I will review it.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Sir, how we can change the program version? Suppose if we are having a setting of from older relay and the program version is mismatch.
Okay. Program version is mismatch. Okay.
The new relay will not accept that. Means some error message will come that program version is.
No, it will ask for the permission that this particular relay is having this program version and new relay is having this program version. Do you want to continue? It will
No,
ask
it's
if
compatibility because upper version can be put up in the older relay, means lower version. But
yes.
if I'm having a, like here you are having V20.109 na? Okay, so if suppose I'm having a program version of here I'm having a setting of 104. So
Okay.
104 will setting file will not go in new relay.
Okay.
Because this
In
is
that case, you try with the different version tool called as Easergy Studio. I will just show you. One software is there called as a Easergy Studio, because the same VAMP relay we can communicate with the Easergy Studio software also. It is having option to convert the settings file. I will just show you. Yes, here you can see the setup Easergy Studio, because the VAMP this Easergy relay is on the same platform of the VAMP relay. So in that case, just I will create a sample file. But that I can show you when the relay is connected. In connected state only we'll find that option. In that case, you will find two options. One is file and second is device. So you can copy all the parameters. Here you can see the gray out function called as copy view to device. Are you able to see? Hello? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Are you able to see this gray out option to copy view to device, copy all to device?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So this is the method by which you can open the existing file and connect with the device which is new device available with you, and you can copy all the parameters from existing to new relay, irrespective of the version of the file. Only model number should be matching. Like in Easergy, it is having many range of relays, If we talk about VAMP, it may have VAMP 50, VAMP 57, or any other. But if you are having both backup file of VAMP 57 with an older version, and you want to send the same in the newer version of VAMP 57, you can simply copy and send it. So I suggest you for this VAMP 57 also, you try with this software. I will share this link, software of this link, so you can install this software and try converting the settings. Is it okay? Hello.
Yep, yep. Please give
Okay.
some information on Easergy relay also. Means we are
Okay.
having
So
VAMP 57 relay
hmm,
and 255 and 256.
okay.
As means for one-to-one replacement, what the precaution we have to take, and those all
Okay.
things.
So I will explain. Actually, the software version presently I'm having is version 4.6, but in the market, means in the server, you will find version 4.5, which is in use now. So the software is called as eSetup Easergy Pro for the Easergy range of relays. By creating a new file, I will give you the brief on the offerings. So here you can see option as a P3 and P5. So these both are the different platform of the Easergy. The device type is P3U30. You can use the same relay, which is P3U30, as a replacement of VAMP57 relay. It is having all the functions and features which are available in VAMP57. So by creating a new file, here you can select the parameters or the relay configurations as per the requirement. Uh, this is the ordering code based on these selections. Here you can see phase current and voltage inputs. Here you will find the options, and you can select as per the requirement. Okay, CTVT and the nominal voltage supply, DI nominal voltage measurements plus DIDO, software version, product version, all these things you can select and create a new file. So uh, I will just create a default file. Here you can see the view is bit similar to the VAMPset software, but is the enhanced one. So here in Mimic also you will find some similar kind of Mimic which is available in VAMP 57. Here you can see the circuit breaker as a object 1, isolator as a object 3, and earth switch as a object 4. Right. So here you can change the object name as per the requirement. Here you can see the default values, which are means the real-time values which are configurable from this table. Even if we talk about the logic preparation, methodology is somewhat similar to the VAMP. Here you can see the logic option under the control menu. Here you can put any of the logic gate. For example, I am taking this OR gate, giving the inputs, mapping the input to the respective function. For example, overcurrent stage 1 trip will take another input as a overcurrent stage 2 trip. Sorry, this one is for 1. This one is for stage 2 trip, and we can map it. We can simply map it to the respective gate. Right. Now, if you want to change the configuration of this particular gate, you can select the gate and change the type, make it inverted if required, put the comment. Okay, so here in info you will be able to see the comment. Next you have to put the logic output and the final output. So I will assign this logic output and the final output here, but it is highlighted in red, means it is not mapped with the any of function. So I will give it as a logic output 1 and will assign for the trip relay 1. So this is the logic which we have made for the overcurrent stage 1 and 2. If any of protection function operates, it will operate the trip relay number 1. So similarly, we can see the same assignment in the matrix. In matrix, you can see this trip relay number 1 is sorry, logic output 1. Here you can see that it is reflected here whatever we have assigned in the logic. See, in logic we have assigned trip relay 1 against logic output 1, so same is reflected here. The advantage here is you can filter the things here in the matrix. Here at present we have selected as a all. You can select as a active also or connected also. So by selecting connected means whatever the assignments are done only will be shown here. In all it will show you all the functions. So the software overview is somewhat disconnected. I don't know why. Okay, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Someone removed me from the meeting. I'm not by mistake, I think. Okay. So here we can see the disturbance record assignment is also similar to the VAMP set. Here in device test, we can get the idea of the relay status diagnosis and all. In documentation, we can print the LED labels. In logs, we can see the alarms, labelings and all. In protection functions also, that is similar to the VAMP set. In control, one additional feature it has, that whenever the relay is connected with the software, you can inject the virtual values. Like if you want to test the relay, so you don't need to have a secondary injection test kit or primary injection test kits. You can enable the virtual injection in the software and you can put the value and simulate it, but that is only possible when relay is connected with the software. So whenever relay is connected with the software, you will find one option at the extreme right of the menu for the virtual simulation. So by enabling virtual simulation, you can put some values, inject it, and see the protection operated and the activation of outputs, LEDs, and all. So there is kind of virtual testing. That feature is available in this Easergy range of relays.
Sir, for binary input, is there any debounce time can be assigned?
Means
Debounce time, what
binary.
means for transformer protection? We used to give 20 millisecond debounce time, like for
Okay.
Buchholz, PRP.
Digital inputs with the debounce time.
No, the time is not.
Delay is there, no? This
Delay
delay
you
is
can
there.
put. Delay you can put means there is operating delay.
So that means after that particular delay, only that particular
Only
input
it
will get
will.
high.
Yes, after that particular time delay, only that input will get activated.
So this feature is
Okay,
not
okay.
in the VAMP 57.
Okay.
In VAMP 57, is this feature is there?
But means are you observing some malfunctioning of the inputs or something? Why you need to use this? As you
No,
said for the
normally for any AC interference, this
ah
binary input picks up and gives instantaneous stripping. In most
okay.
of the cases, it is will be spurious. For that
Mm-hmm.
reason, we want to introduce the
Okay.
some time delay in the binary input, like
Okay.
some
Okay.
50 millisecond or 100 millisecond.
Understood.
Normally
Understood.
20 milliseconds debounce timer is
20 millisecond is
suggested.
enough, I feel.
20
Yes. Yes.
milliseconds.
Yes. Okay. So that feature is available in this. I'm not sure about the VAMP.
So this software is accessible to anyone or it is a licensed one?
No. All the relay softwares for Schneider range of relay are available for free to download. You can simply write on Google and download it. You don't need any license key or any specific key and anything. You can simply download and start using it.
Okay, fine.
So here going to the measurement part, come to
Hmm?
energy,
Hmm?
energy. No, in the display means it's record
Oh,
cumulative
in
power or here.
here. No,
Yeah.
whatever the recorded value only will be showed here. Here you can see the local panel configurator. Means whatever the value you are getting in the measurement only will be reflected in the mimic. This is kind of the shortcut measurement.
No, here you have assigned here at 3 number you have assigned for power.
Power,
Okay.
yes.
Active power, active
Hmm.
power.
Hmm.
For suppose if I want to assign it for energy,
Which one?
E plus.
Okay. You can assign it here. Means whatever the parameter you want to monitor on the default display, you can assign it here. And other than this, means it is having option of assignment of six number of parameters on default display. Other than this, you can assign it here also in the local panel configuration. So by simply pressing up arrow key, you will be able to find all these parameters on different pages like display 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 likewise.
So VAMP P 3 series is for VAMP 57.
Uh, yes, means it is having different range and different for the different applications, but we can see this as a one-to-one replacement of
No, suppose
uh,
one thing
hmm,
like we are
hmm,
having two VAMP 57 relay in PA fan. Okay,
okay,
one VAMP relay is for my differential protection,
hmm,
and one VAMP relay is for my motor feeder protection. Okay,
okay. Hmm.
so
No, the
for both,
differential is again for the motor differential only.
motor differential only, sir.
So in that case, I suggest you to use. Will show you. In that case, I suggest to use P3M32. So that includes all motor protection with differential.
All
I
motor
will
with one relay.
with one relay, yes.
With one relay, it will
So
meet my all my
I
requirements.
yes, I just have opened the sample file of P3M32. So by using this relay, you will be able to use the differential protection also.
But the size of
Motor
the relay will change, na, sir.
size will be changing, yes, because you are accommodating all the protection in single relay. So size of the relay will
Many
be
CT
changing,
input
yes.
and CT input are there, sir?
Sorry,
How many CT input is there?
it is having two source of cities inputs. Here you can see in the
RYB,
scaling
RYB means
RYB, two sources, yes, RYB, RYB. Here you can see city primary, city secondary, city primary 2, city secondary 2. Means this one is one side and second for another side of the motor. So it is having different model of relays as per the application and as per the requirement. Here you can see P3U30 is the basic and the universal relay. P3U20 and U30 is somewhat similar to 30 platform, but it is not having voltage inputs. Similarly, F30 stands for feeder protection, L30 for line differential, M30 for motor protection. Here P3M30 is having motor protection but does not includes a differential. For differential, it is P3M32. Similarly, P3T32 is for the transformer differential, P3G30 is for generator, and G32 is generator with differential. Is it clear?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Sir, can
Any?
we transfer
Yes.
a VAMP relay setting, VAMP 57 relay setting to Easergy?
Uh, I need to check for that. Actually, we have developed one tool for the one-to-one setting configuration also, but I need to check for this specific model.
Okay, because VAMP 57 is no longer available in market. So now
Yes.
we are purchasing Easergy.
Okay.
So how can we
So
transfer? Is there?
for the conversion of one-to-one setting, I will check once, but that should be possible. But I'm not have I haven't come across such situation to replace old one 157 as of now. So for that, I will check once.
No, that is most required in present
Yes.
situation because
Yes. Yes.
VAMP
Means
57 relays are not available right now in the market,
yes.
and we are forced to replace all the existing VAMP 57 relays with the new Easergy Pro relays.
So in that case, if this feature is available, will be very helpful.
Yes. Right now, actually, we are sending that old setting file, VAMP 57 setting file to Schneider, and we are getting back equivalent Easergy profile.
Okay, whom you are sending it?
The same vendor who has supplied the Easergy relays.
Okay. 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 Fine. I will check once that feature should be available or must be on the development stage. But we are having the similar kind of solution for other relays. Like as I said, as I discussed about the CPAM range, that CPAM range is having that solution that we can convert settings of CPAM range to Easergy range. We have that function, but I need to check for the VAMP ones.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Sir, what about the with the replacement of VAMP 255 and VAMP
Hmm?
256? We are having here
For that,
VAMP 255 for transformer feeder protection.
that's what I'm telling. So for transformer, we are having this P3T32.
And what is
So if you are having
F32 F30?
F30 is also means if you are not using differential protection in transformer, you can go with the P3 F30 also. But if you want to have a differential protection, then you need P3 T32 only.
So again, in only one relay, all the protection differential and
Yes,
along with the transformer protections, it will
yes.
mean.
If we take an example of transformer feeder, so one relay which is P3T32 includes all protection for transformers. That includes differential, REF, SEF, overfluxing, overcurrent, earth fault, all protections.
Can you just
Okay,
share the manual for all these three relays?
I can share it.
P3U30?
I can share the manual for all these relays. Even you also can download it from the Google. It is free available to download. You can simply go to the Google and search for any of the relay, and you will get the manuals. Even if you will see this link here, all the relay details are available. If we take an example of Easergy, right? If we talk about this Power Logic P3 protection relay range, here you will find option of all the relays, right? You can go to any relay and download the manuals, download the other supporting documents and all. Even you can find the software and firmware also here. Here you can see the eSetup Easergy Pro version 4.5 is available. You can download and start using it.
Can we upgrade the firmware of this relay? Means any VAMP relay? Is it possible?
Uh, no, not from the VAMP, not for the VAMP. but we can upgrade the firmware for the Easergy relay based on the requirement. We are not generally recommending to upgrade the firmware unless and until it is having some issue. But if required, we can upgrade it. Okay, any other doubts?
Sir, I'm from Darlipalli. We are using
Please.
VAP 57 relay,
Hmm?
and we have commissioned the SCADA system, ring 1 and ring 2. While running both ring 1, ring 2, one ring got down.
Okay.
It's down. So that's why you are using only one ring, ring 2. It's
No, no,
automatically. Sir.
no. I didn't get your question. Means you are using the communication with the two ring
Yes.
for the redundancy purpose.
As if, no, two separate, yes, redundancy purpose.
Okay.
Separate
Then
board ID, board switch is there.
okay.
Switch 1 and switch 2.
Okay.
And SCADA also two separate SCADA system. Ring 1, ring 2 SCADA system is there. But
Okay.
the data is not transmitting properly. Means, if ring 1 is acting,
Hmm.
and I will take suppose ring 2 for
But I
checking for.
think it will be giving data to any one ring at a time. And whenever any one ring fails, it second ring will be coming to the picture because
That
the relay.
clarification we record. No one is giving that clarification. That's why our
Okay. Because relay cannot respond to both the system at a time, no. Because since you are using two different SCADAs, that particular relay will not be able to respond both the SCADA at a time.
at the same time SCL relay and Siemens relay is communicating through redundant. Means they are communicating properly.
No, redundancy is something different. Like for redundancy, you will be having a common SCADA with the two different rings. But as you said, you are having two different SCADA now.
Yeah.
So it will not be able to respond both the masters at a time.
No, sir. It is a single SCADA only. Only the thing is, it is a redundancy only.
Okay.
Both the thing
Uh-huh.
are two different rings. If any ring fails, another automatically second ring will connect it to the another server. But the
Right.
SCADA is a common.
Okay.
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 So the thing is that the same question what I have asked before also.
Hmm.
So if I connected both the rings connected to the same relay,
Hmm.
even though it is a same SCADA, but it is totally collapsing the total network.
But the master for both the relay is common. Means the both the
A
ring is
relay,
common.
yeah, relay is teaming. You are saying that not teaming.
Master means the server to which this relay is transferring data is common for both the rings.
Yes.
In that case, it should respond. Like that is purely for the redundancy purpose. No. So
Yes.
if one ring fails, it should respond to the another one.
Right. One thing fails, it is responding. The another one, it is if the fails condition will come. If I
Hmm.
connect both the networks, both the
Hmm.
rings to the same relay,
Okay.
then also it is totally collapsing the network, and also it is mixing up the data.
Okay. So in that case, it may have some configuration issues.
Yeah.
You
So
can
that is only the we just want to know where is the main thing we have to check it.
you send me the backup file because unless and until I connect with the relay or I'm having a backup file, I will not be able to see that particular parameters. But whatever the relay you have, you share that backup and I will get it checked.
Okay, sir. Okay, and one more thing.
Hmm.
Main thing is I hear that the VAM 57 manufacturing is nowadays they have changed the proto, yeah, maybe model, I think like that. I hear.
Hmm.
Is it
Hmm.
so?
Yes, that VAMP is discontinued now.
VAM 57 is discontinued now. So
Complete
what is the if
VAMP
I want to
range.
procure any spare for
You
the
can
same as a replicant, then
no spare. No, procuring spare doesn't make any sense because you no need to change any hardware of the relay, right? So
okay.
if you want to have a replacement of relay means you can go with the Easergy which is having a one-to-one replacement solution of the with the VAMP with the Easergy.
So VAMP with the Easergy. Okay.
Yes, yes, that
Okay, sir.
solution is available.
Send me your mail ID so that I will send you the backup of this
Yes,
file and the issues what you have facing so that we can
yes,
get it. Okay, sir.
yes.